So we need to take this message seriously and pray. Amen.
On the 23rd of October 2016, during a Sunday service at Divine Kingdom Baptist Ministries, the servant of God, Pastor Ian Ndlovu, urged the saints and intercessors to pray for the extension of the life of a prominent musician in Zimbabwe. After the prayers of those that are close to the musician and the prayers of the intercessors, the Almighty God extended the life of the prominent and iconic musician.
In a vision, I was shown a very famous musician in Zimbabwe whose totem is an elephant. Ndlovu la njengami. The Lord says we must pray for his health and his family. We must pray for two things. A very famous musician who uses Ndlovu as a totem, or uses an elephant as a totem. We must pray for his health and his family. Unless he receives the grace of God for divine health, I see his health come to a premature end. I see his life come to a premature end. But God wants to lengthen his life for reasons which are best known to God. It means God still has assignments for him on earth. Amen. If God didn't have assignments for him, he would just let him die. And then we would just read in the newspapers that so and so just died after a short illness. And no one would intercede for this person. But this person has got an assignment. Why am I saying this person has got an assignment? Towards the end of his life, I see him singing gospel music. In the past, this person was mixing something which looked like gospel music with the other music. And then I see him sing gospel music and convert many people to Christ. And because the devil knows that he is planning that, he wants to fast-track a sickness and kill him before he carries out that mission. And through the whatever gospel songs that he is going to release, before this person dies, he will win millions of people to Jesus Christ. So his career has got two phases. The first phase of dancing, you know, just when people are just stressed, and then he goes to the pubs. I mean, I don't know whether such a career is from God, but his career is divided into two parts. And then the other part, he will be a very serious Christian, just because Jesus will manifest himself to this man that I'm talking about, such that he will be only composing gospel music. He will say, I've left this type of music. I now want to serve God. Just the last remainder of his life. The last few years of his life. That's how God planned his life, so that he escape eternal damnation. And he leads so many people who respect him to Jesus Christ. That's the will of God that I'm stating. But the devil is moving against that will. Can the devil prevail against the will of God? He can't, but if God now wants you and me to institute his will, the will can be frustrated if we don't play our part. Let us cover this person that I'm talking about.
Peter, thank you so much. Let's now get a reaction on the news, of course, of the passing of Oliver Mtukudzi. We are now joined on the line by the Joy of Jazz founder and Oliver's promoter, Peter Tladi. Ndate Tladi, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Talk to us about what happened. All right. It looks like we've lost that line to music promoter Peter Tladi, of course, who was also Oliver Mtukudzi's promoter as well. We'll try to re-establish that line and talk a little bit about Oliver Mtukudzi. I mean, many people will certainly remember him when he began performing in around 1977, of course, when he joined the Wagon Wheels, the band, of course, that also featured Thomas Mapunvo as well. So he was loved even beyond the African borders itself, internationally as well, and many South Africans, of course, enjoyed his music during jazz festivals, of course, here in South Africa. But let's just try to see if we have Peter Tladi once again on the line now to get more reaction on Oliver Mtukudzi's passing. Ndate Tladi, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Of course, we've just learned of the sad news of the passing of Oliver Mtukudzi. What actually happened?
To be honest, I was made aware by you guys, and then I phoned Zimbabwe to speak to Walter Wanyanya, who is Oliver's manager, and he confirmed that he passed on this morning.
The life of the legendary Mtukudzi teaches us 3 life lessons. Firstly, that you must live lives that inspire others. Secondly, that we must live lives that are full of impact. And lastly, that we must nurture others. The servant of God, Pastor Ian Ndlovu, and Divine Kingdom Baptist Ministries joins the whole world in mourning the legendary Dr. Mtukudzi. May God comfort his family, the nation of Zimbabwe, and the whole world. May his soul rest in eternal peace.